Hello, here you are once again. You've clicked on my face once more, which means I have not yet bored you. For that, I am thankful. And as usual, before we get started, I do want to thank the sponsor of this video. We have ourselves a new sponsor here. This video is brought to you by Truebill. Truebill is an all-in-one personal finance platform that helps you save more and spend less. It helps you manage your subscriptions, lower your bills, monitor your credit score, and build your savings all in one place. It safely and securely monitors your subscriptions, and you can cancel those subscriptions with just one click, because we've all been there. Maybe you signed up for the free trial period and just forgot about it. Truebill will sniff that out and be like, hey, you still pay for this. Want to cancel it? You can also set up a budget that'll show you what you're spending by category. It'll give you notifications when you exceed that budget, gives you a visual representation of where your money's going. Because in a world where we're all adulting, credit score, money management, it's all very important stuff. Try it out for free. Go to truebill.com/Johns or click the link below. You might be surprised at what you're paying for that you forgot you were paying for that you haven't used for like 2 presidential terms. Thank you once again to Truebill for sponsoring this video. I do appreciate it. And now I rip myself away from the Final Fantasy VI Pixel remaster I've been looking forward to for quite some time. And I do it to talk about garbage. Why? Because that could be fun too, I guess. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a sequel to The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Sans the. And it's one of those movies that's a new sequel that retcons everything except the original movie. So it retcons all the other sequels. Which I'm pretty sure was exactly what that movie Texas Chainsaw 3D did. Because if at first you don't succeed, keep making garbage. It's the rule of Hollywood. This is the worst mulligan ever. It literally feels like, we only have 2 lands. All right, mulligan. And now we have 1 land. How did it get worse? That's what this movie feels like. To be fair, I haven't seen Texas Chainsaw 3D since it was in theaters. I saw it the once, which is probably how often I'm gonna watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So getting into the plot of this movie after I've just bitched about it for this long, there's a group of young people, these young entrepreneurial types, these Gen Zers who all go to this ghost town. They're like, hey, we'll buy it and auction it off and bring life into it, I guess? Or create a cult compound somewhere in the middle of nowhere, I don't know. Point is, that's what they want to do. Turns out Leatherface is there, and he gets really pissed. And then something else happens in the movie that really makes Leatherface mad, and now Leatherface goes on his killing spree. Up against a bunch of characters you don't care about. So you're kind of rooting for Leatherface to kill people. And in that, this movie does have a couple scenes where I was like, oh, that's a nice bloodbath, let's do it. The blood, the slaughter, you're kind of there at that point. And that can work. I've experienced movies where I was like, yeah, I'm just kind of rooting for the bad guy to kill people. That's fine. That's what happens when I watch Final Destination movies. I'm waiting for this fatalistic death just to weed these people out. Or Saw. I'm like, well, you go, Jigsaw. That's why I'm here. Like, example, there's this scene in a bus where just this massacre is happening. You're like, okay, I could kind of get into this. Your lizard brain kicks on. You're like, sure, it's just oozing and dripping with carnage. Good enough, right? But then that other part of your brain kicks on, that average fucking human being brain kicks on, and you're like, wait. Because Leatherface has the most silent chainsaw ever in this movie. Yeah, the cool thing about Leatherface, or chainsaws in general, in movies when they're used as massacre equipment, is that they have that rumble sound, and it's coming after you. It's scary. You're like, oh shit, gotta be quiet. Gotta be quieter than the chainsaw in this movie when it's idle. Because it makes no sound whatsoever. It just goes from nothing, silent, to bang! So silent, in fact, that when the chainsaw is on, but idle, people are trying to creep away. They're like, oh, we gotta open this window. It's all... Leatherface is like, what was that I just heard over my idle chainsaw that's making no sound on screen? It wasn't an electric chainsaw. It did make idle, gas-powered sounds intermittently throughout the movie. Just sometimes it made it, sometimes it didn't. When making this movie, someone was like, how would Leatherface hear the slight window creak open over the chainsaw? You think anyone's gonna notice that? No, not at all. It's only the internet and social media. No one's gonna catch that and point it out forever. Well, I wouldn't say forever, because no one's gonna remember this movie. And no, that's not the rating. I'm not rating it up yet. I'm still going. I have things to say. If you want to talk about unrealistic, there's a scene in this movie where someone gets, straight up, just someone gets the chainsaw, the full brunt of it. Someone gets the MKX through the gut, lifted into the air. It just revs the chainsaw. Ass and blood just falling on Leatherface. And then later on, far after this person should have died, because they should have died right then and there, the person's alive long enough to pop a shot at Leatherface, then dies. I was like, well, it's official. Texas Chainsaw Massacre it's a ghost movie. because that person was not fucking alive. The big thing that this movie does, it takes inspiration from the 2018 Halloween movie. You know, the 2018 Halloween movie was the sequel that was a retcon of all the other sequels, retconned everything except the original movie. And it had the survivor of the original movie come back to face the monster. And that's what this movie does. It has the character Sally, the survivor of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, to come and face the monster in a way that's just anticlimactic and sucks. Laurie Strode in 2018 Halloween, she's the main point. This movie, Sally just kind of seems like an afterthought thrown into this movie briefly and for no reason whatsoever. Like if she wasn't in the movie at all, movie would be no different. I really mean that. Actually, that's really sad when you say it out loud, but that's true. She wasn't in the movie. The movie just wouldn't change at all. Except for like one scene where she comes in, she's like, run. And at a point, the movie ends with zero payoff whatsoever, and it just makes you go, okay, I watched that. Could have done anything else with my time. That's really why I'm doing this video, because I watched it and I was like, fuck, if I'm not making a video about this, I'm getting that time back. Suppose I'm spending more time talking about it, but you know, I'll at least use my experience watching this movie to keep the channel machine turning. There's no way I wasn't gonna talk about this movie. I have to make it worth it somehow. And if for nothing else, I'm letting you know, you definitely shouldn't. You should not. That makes it all worth it, my friends. Use my pain to your advantage. Oh God, I forgot about this. But I have to touch on it, I have to talk about it because it's in the movie, again, for no real reason. Now this could have worked out. They could have used this for something in the movie. They just don't. There are these brief flashback moments in this movie, like really brief. You know at the end of Joker, where Joker's sitting there and he goes, I just thought of a joke. And it really briefly shows Bruce Wayne and his dead parents. The flashback scenes are that quick. But they're there to show you that at least one of the characters in this movie is a survivor of a school shooting. Yeah, it's in here for character development, I guess. Doesn't really lead to anything. It's just kind of there. At best, it's really awkward. At worst, it's just another part of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In the end, Texas Chainsaw Massacre it's proof that they should just stop trying to do this. I feel like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is kind of like Terminator. Someone out there has it in their mind where they're like, no, this is a franchise. We should really keep going with this. It's like, nah, I think the best years are behind us. Just let it go. I have come to tell you that Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's sawed off dog shit. Sorry, I was out of town on vacay, relaxing. Would have gotten you this video last weekend, but I didn't. To anyone who saw this movie because I didn't forewarn you about it, I really do apologize. Most sincere YouTuber apology ever. All right, so Texas Chainsaw Massacre, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Again, if you did, I'm sorry. But whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.